Hi guys, I'm here with my friend Charlene, and we're at, what's the neighborhood we're in?
Willow Reserve.
Willow Reserve near Reynoldsburg, or I guess we're in Reynoldsburg.
Yes, correct.
Because there's a tomato festival flyer on the counter. But we are in Moronda Homes.
Yes.
And we just wanted to talk to Charlene today and, how we say, address the elephant in the room.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay, so Charlene, I was an appraiser 25 years ago, a long time ago. And, the stigma was Moronda wasn't such a great builder.
Yes.
I kind of stayed away from that whenever I'd go in. The quality wasn't so great. But I'm sitting and standing in this building today, and it doesn't look the same.
Right.
So tell me about that.
It's funny. I'm going to take my glasses off for this one because I
serious.
love to address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Most of the time when people think of Moronda, they think of the arches. They think of not good quality. They also, and if you're a realtor, you think about Moronda wasn't friendly. They weren't nice to realtors,
No,
if the truth be told. Right? And so there's all this stigma about it. And most of the time, we live in a generation where people really don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. And when you don't have uncomfortable conversation, it doesn't allow for people to grow. The thing that I like about Moronda is a family-owned company that has been in business for 50 years. And it went through that very rocky period where listening to these reviews. And so then the question becomes, how 25 years later are they still standing? And that is because they made a decision to have those uncomfortable conversations. They made a decision to change their construction. They made a decision to listen to what their buyers were saying. They also made a decision to listen to what the realtors were saying. And what that translated into, it's very funny. When I first started with Moronda, I ran into someone that used to be an appraiser himself. I was at a restaurant. He heard where I was working at, and he said essentially the same thing. And so I asked him to come out, since I was a newbie, and walk a construction site with me. And when he walked the construction site, he knew more than I did as far as the wood that we use, as far as the methods that we use. And he was very impressed. He was so impressed that he actually scheduled an appointment with a buyer. And so I always recommend to any realtor out there, especially if it's been several years since you actually worked with Moronda, come out and have a boots meeting with us and go on the construction sites, because what they're going to find is that our same methods, our same material and stuff like that is the same one that luxury builders are using.
Really?
But they're getting it at affordable pricing. So we were able to make those changes. But the biggest change that we've made that means the most all the way around is Moronda did something 2 years ago that no other builder in the state of Ohio is doing. And they said, not only do we believe that we have made the right changes, we want to partner with a brokerage that specializes in new construction only. And we want to actually have realtors that represent us, but yet don't work for us. Because we want them to have a fiduciary duty to the community that anything that we're doing wrong, they have to report us.
Right.
So unlike any other builder, when you're sitting there talking to that person that's speaking to you and that's selling that product, if that builder is doing anything wrong, that builder signs that person's check, and they're responsible to keep their mouth closed.
Right.
Moronda stands by there so much that they have that much integrity that they wanted to hire nothing but realtors. So I'm a realtor just like you, just like anyone else that's sitting on the other side. So what's most important to me? Keeping my license.
Right. Exactly.
That's my livelihood.
Right, exactly.
Because I don't get paid by Moronda.
Right.
And so any builder that believes in their product so much that they're willing to open up their books, essentially, open up their methods to say, hold us accountable. If we do anything wrong, report us.
Okay.
That's a product that I stand by.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're here.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it definitely is very transparent that it's different. I mean, there's no arches for number one, which, they're cute. They were kind of cute back then, but, I definitely see that they've definitely stayed on trend and, went over and above some of the trends.
Yes.
Even, that, I've seen in some of the custom builds that I've worked with. The build is beautiful. It's very pretty.
And one of the things that they end up doing, when I say that they listen to their customers. So when I started, they were doing ceramic. Like even if we were to go to some of the other townhomes, you will see that the standard was just like the ceramic rollout tile. And the buyers were like, we don't like that.
Right.
And so now we have LVP as part of our standard. That's our standard now. Okay. They said they didn't like the bifold doors. Now we don't do bifold doors. Okay. So we're a builder that don't operate off of numbers. Most of the other builders, they're ran by, you're nothing but a number. Whatever your lot number is, that is what you are. No it is changes. About their profit. Yeah, exactly. No whereas Moronda has been standing on, we are going to stay family owned, because family owned is what keeps them to the ear of what family needs in order to be able to afford their house. So we are the builder that gives you more bang for your buck as far as square footage at an affordable price, but we're also the builder that listens and make a change.
Right. Like, I really like that you said that you know, they did have that stigma then, and that they listened to their clients and they wanted to change, and they did. I'm a big opponent of like growing and changing constantly. If you watch my Facebook feed, everything is like, set your goals, grow your thing, you know, be different. Yes. I mean, I'm completely different than I was 25 years ago. Thank Jesus. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of my, you know, my clients are too. So I'm sure they can appreciate something like that. I mean, being so transparent, like you're saying, and honest and saying, hey, I know we made some mistakes, but we're gonna, you know, do this. Not like they were a horrible builder or anything. They built a nice house. A lot of people have great homes, but you know, listening. Exactly. You know, that's a big thing, listening to people.
And it's funny because one of the things that I respect, I remember when I was in high school, I had this loud voice and I could drown out the whole cheerleading squad. And I remember thinking, I don't even know what their purpose is.
Right.
And so I decided to try out for them because I was always raised, if you don't have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. So that since I didn't have anything nice to say about cheerleaders, I decided to become one.
Okay.
And what it taught me is that I found after becoming one, I had a newfound respect for cheerleaders, because it was the only sport where you had to depend on someone else. Because I was a flyer, one that was lifted up in the air, I literally, my safety depended on the base, the people that was holding me up. Wow. And there's no other sport that requires that much trust. Wow. Most of it has to do with, you know, a skill set of another person. And so I had a newfound respect for now cheerleaders. I understood their purpose and what they was. And the thing that I have found with Moronda is just like that 25 years ago, they didn't understand the essential and the importance of realtors, and they treated them as such. Yeah. But then they took time to sit back and say, you know what? Let us find out. Let us understand what that partnership means. And it meant so much once they got an understanding and found a respect that they said, you know what? We no longer want to have sales associates. We want to have realtors. We want to have individuals that will no longer be competing with other realtors. Right. And that's one of the reasons why I crossed over, because I have so many friends that are realtors, but we're all out there trying to get the same business, you know? And so at the end of the day, even though we're friends, we're still competing.
Right.
And this allows me now to partner versus compete. And now I'm able to be a complement to every realtor out there. I'm able to be an extension of the knowledge that they already have, and just hopefully bring nothing but good light to them. Yeah. Not only through my product, but hopefully through the knowledge.
Yeah. Well, you always bring a good light. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Working with you. Okay. Well, thank you so much for showing me Moronda. I'm really excited about bringing my clients here, and I'll let you get back to it. So her phone's been ringing off the hook while we're here, because she's got people wanting this community. So we're going to get out of her way. So, bye.